Breaking news, my wonderful people. Finally, it has happened. The long-awaited report that we've been thinking about. How is this going on? My dear, it has finally happened. Wike, PDP governors reportedly dump Atiku, reach new deal to support Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Well, this is what is happening. For a long time now, the whole fight on if Wike will succeed, asking the very man called Aye to resign according to the agreement has not really manifested, and as such, it has turned rather sour, as we can see now that things are quite different. Information has emerged that some governors of the People Democratic Party has allegedly reached out a deal to work against the party 2023 presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. Instead of working for Atiku, the governors reportedly reached a deal to secretly support the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, without leaving PDP. Lead Nigeria understands that the governors fingered in the development are loyalists of the Rivers State governor, his counterpart. Newsom Wike has been at the loggerheads with Atiku over the outcome of the party presidential primaries and the subsequent emergence of the governor of Delta State, Okowa, as the vice presidential candidate. A source quoted by Vanguard says the governors, Newsom Wike, Samuel Otom, that's Benue, Sheyi Makinde is of Oyo, Ikpeazu is of Abia, Ifeanyi is of Enugu, all reached the agreement during the recent meeting again in London. According to the source, the governors want assurance that their preferred candidate will be allowed to win Senate and House of Representatives seats in their respective states, but Tinubu could not fully commit to the demands. Wike was said to have demanded that APC candidates ensure if it wins the presidential election, which comes first, he will ensure he does not influence the outcome of governorship and House of Assembly polls in Rivers, Benue, Oyo, Abia, and Enugu, so that candidates in their camp and those of other governors could remain in control of their states. He also wanted assurance that their men should be allowed to win Senate and House of Representative seats, including the governors contesting senatorial election. There was no headway on the demand either, since the presidential and National Assembly election will take place right on the same day, the source has claimed. The London meeting, the leaders of the People Democratic Party have, however, not given up and are making efforts to end the internal crisis rocking the party, which has stayed its preparation for the 2023 presidential campaign and the inauguration of its campaign committee. Reports that the main opposition party plunged into crisis in the aftermath of the nomination of its presidential candidates and running mates, Atiku Abubakar and Okowa, respectively. According to the Sunday Sun, the party has scheduled critical meeting of its National Working Committee, National Caucus, Board of Trustees, and National Executive Committee. Insiders disclosed that the meetings are part of efforts by the PDP to rally its leaders and stakeholders to find a middle ground in the crisis rocking the party as at today. Late Nigeria gathered that Governor Wike and his allies have converged in London, UK, with source saying that the trip is to enable the quarters to brainstorm on current development of the party. So this is what is happening. They have lived their own, okay, and they've joined other interests in order to have, their position being held. The question I keep asking again and again, all this fight that is going on, is it for the party or for individual interest? That's one thing we must seriously and really think about. The fight, the whole fight, the fight that is going on, is it that they are fighting to say, you know what, Nigeria deserves better leadership? Oh, such an individual has not done well, and this is why we want blah, 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 blah. What is this fight all about? Okay, I know that. Okay, Wike has a ground in terms of, the presidential candidate is from the north, the NWC chairman is from the north, the leader of the governors forum for PDP is of the north. So it more or less look like a northern party, and what Wike is dragging for, could be termed as legit. However, is he at the expense of the party? So these are things we must actually, reach out for. These are things we must actually deal with if we want to get all the maximum support and all that we need to get. We need to be very rest assured, okay, on these grounds where we are not wavering between opinions, where we are absolutely sure, okay, of some of these things, and we have made up our minds and say, you know what, this is it. So you see, it is what it is, and the time to forge ahead and to ensure that we are not meandered along these lines of, hypocrisy going on among politicians is now. Because politicians at the end of the day will be politicians, so don't get it twisted. They are not fighting for your interests, in case that's what you think. No, they're not fighting for you. They are only, if you listen to those deals they are trying to make, is for themselves. Those deal particularly is speaking for what they can gain. Those deal particularly is looking out for what can I get, what is in need for me, how can my men get into power, so that I have my voice in places. I am not losing relevance with touch of what is happening today. Those are the things that are happening, sincerely, truly speaking. Those are the things that the discussions being reached. It's not that I hope when you come in you will work for the people. I hope when you come in you will not undermine the fact that Nigerians are suffering. I hope when you come in you will stand for Nigeria. That is not the fight. That's not where the fight is. That's not where the issue is. It's quite a different ball game altogether. You see, so that's why we cannot allow the same people over and over again to leave us in a cocoon, okay, lying to us. You see, they are fighting for themselves to a large extent. Most of them are fighting for themselves to a large extent. That's what they are doing. And that's why, we must come out of this, terrible situation we are seeing ourselves today. You see, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. We really love to hear from you. Don't forget that every one of us have got a part to contribute in order to make this what it ought to be. Yes, it is what it is. We have a part to contribute, honestly. We have a part. Leave us a comment. Don't forget to please like us, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. Remember, you have a voice. Yes? Remember. God bless. Have a lovely and a fantastic day. From us, it's bye for now.